Episode 7. When Kuchi Jong saw that Jingfan had fallen and gotten herself dirtied up, she walked up to her with sympathy and surprise displayed on her flawless face. "Good to see you, Jingfan. You look horrible as always," she laughed as she teased Jingfan. "I know. Unlike you, I don't go on dates with tons of guys every day, so I don't always need to dress in gaudy outfits like yours." This was not sarcasm in the least. Kuchi Jong indeed changed her boyfriends as often as she changed her clothes. It was truly amazing. Regardless, the boys would always continue to chase her without giving up. Even now, as the two were conversing, there were boys enthusiastically waiting outside ready to date her. Kuchi Jong's eyes sparkled when she saw the boy standing next to Jingfan. "Who's this?" she asked. This is Koichi Mizuno, my language partner. Koichi, this is none other than our famous beauty, Miss Jong. Isn't she gorgeous?" Jingfan introduced them. Koichi lightly bowed at Kuchi Jong as if not even hearing Jingfan's introduction. He turned to Jingfan and said, "Hurry up and change. I'll wait here. Even though it's summer, you can still catch a cold after getting rained on, you know." Jingfan then told Kuchi Jong, "See you later," before hurrying back to her room. Kuchi Jong had left the lobby by the time Jingfan returned in a clean outfit. "Wasn't she cute? She's the most popular girl in school because of how beautiful she is. Just like the rumors, right?" Jingfan asked Koichi as they left the school. "Was she? I didn't get a good look at her, so I didn't really notice her beauty. The criteria for judging beauty are different for everyone, you know. I prefer natural beauty over acquired beauty," Koichi said. Jingfan looked at Koichi, blinking her eyes. "Oh, come on. You must be the only boy at this school that can look at Kuchi's beautiful face and still be so calm. You must not have gotten a proper look at her." Koichi's eyes were fixed on Jingfan. "The thing I like most about you is that you pinpoint the merits of those around you and then go out of your way to praise them for those merits. A personality like yours is hard to come by. They say women are jealous creatures, but you prove this to be a lie. I mean, compared to that girl back there, you're way more unique, I guess," he said in a meaningful voice. "You think so?" Jingfan asked for clarification. She thought for a while, then continued. "It's thanks to you that I finally realized what an incredible person I am, since you're always praising me and giving me big hats. But really, thanks. I like wearing these big hats you give me. You make me feel like an angel." "Yep, you're definitely special. A normal girl would never speak their mind like you do. Although you know in your hearts that what I'm praising you for is the truth, you always act so modest about it. Nothing about you is fake. You're always honest and real, and you have a pure heart too." "In other words, you're saying I have no filter?" Jingfan laughed. "Ever since I was little, my teachers and family would always tell me my straightforwardness and honesty would get me into trouble someday, so I'm amazed I've made it this far in my life without incident. I guess you can't believe everything adults tell you, right? I also think fakeness depends on the person. If it's someone with a personality like Kuchi Jong, that attitude just adds to her beauty. But if I acted like that, I'm sure I'd get laughed at. That's why I don't openly flirt in front of guys. Because I know I'm not as pretty as someone like her. If I had a face like Kuchi Jong's, I might put on airs even more than she does. I might even play hard to get with you, Koichi." "Whatever, say what you want. But seriously, I think you're really unique and you have a distinguishable beauty." "Thank you for the undeserved compliments. I'm turning red, Mr. Mizuno. If someone like me can be considered beautiful, then Kuchi Jong must be an extraordinary beauty that only appears once every 100 years. "Maybe I used the wrong words. That girl may be as beautiful as you say, but even if you're not as beautiful as her, you're definitely cuter than her, and sweeter than she is. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but that's how I feel. Also, don't call me Mr. Mizuno. I'm not a 70-year-old man. It's weird to hear you say my name so formally. You sound like a teacher taking attendance. If you really think of me as a friend, just call me Koichi all the time. I'll call you by your first name too, since that's easier." "I'm okay with that," Jingfan answered, feeling relieved. Jingfan always thought the Japanese were excessively polite in regards to their manners. Everyone practices manners and behaves with proper etiquette, but obsessing about it excessively could result in the total opposite effect. If one heavily relied on bowing and apologetic manners throughout everyday life like the Japanese often do, these manners to supposedly convey one's real feelings would instead be interpreted as deceitful or fake. For this reason, she was pleased to hear Koichi's request, as it told her that their opinions were parallel with each other, and agreed to it straight away. At the department store, the two searched thoroughly for a good birthday present for Koichi's father. In the end, Jingfan picked out an Anhui inkstone as it was obviously made in China. Her reasoning behind this choice was previously hearing from Koichi that his father loved calligraphy. Aligning with his hobbies, she advised him that this famous inkstone made in the Anhui province would be the perfect practical gift only found in China. Once the present was bought, the two still had time on their hands, so they began aimlessly wandering around the city. They thought it pointless to travel 2 hours all the way to the city without at least enjoying their time out. Browsing boutiques while sipping iced tea, Jingfan suddenly stopped in her tracks when a thin, elaborately made silver bracelet caught her eye. Her legs, which had grown tired from walking, told her that this was the time to finally take a break. Less than a centimeter thick, this bracelet was plated with silver as thin as strands of hair. Furthermore, those thin silver threads formed the shape of 2 phoenixes flapping their wings. Impressed with the splendid Chinese craftsmanship, Jingfan picked it up for a closer look. "I'll buy it for you," Koichi said, seeing Jingfan so mesmerized with the bracelet. "I don't really need it," Jingfan laughed as she left the boutique ahead of him. As they walked side by side, Jingfan noticed a sullen look surfacing on Koichi's face. "Thank you, though. I appreciate the thought, but I came here with you as a friend to buy a present for your father's birthday. You don't need to thank me or anything," she said. "No, that's not it. I didn't offer to buy it as a thanks. I just thought it would look really good on you." "That's why you wanted to buy it for me? Well, I greatly appreciate the kind intentions, but it's not like anyone can just have everything they want. The fact that we can't have it is what makes it so appealing. If we could just simply get a hold of anything we wanted, even our most treasured items would lose their charm and value, wouldn't they? That's why they say the grass is always greener on the other side." Koichi partially agreed with this, but then shrugged and said, "That's your excuse for not accepting my token of gratitude? I suppose rejecting other people's kindness is one of those virtues the Chinese always talk about." "Not really. Honestly, I just don't want to be wasteful. Something like that bracelet back there is merely an accessory. I'm not a rich girl that takes several hours arranging her clothes and accessories in front of the mirror before leaving the house, so expensive luxury jewelry like that wouldn't even suit me." Jingfan continued since Koichi failed to respond. "Know what I mean? Basically, I don't want it because I'm not a rich girl." Looking at Jingfan's honest face, Koichi opened his mouth to reply, but then stopped. Seeing Koichi struggle to agree with what she was saying, Jingfan opened her mouth instead. I'm hungry," she said, rubbing her belly. "Let's do this then. Instead of buying me a present, why don't you treat me to something delicious? I'm really in the mood for some Tongyeo Bing right now. Ice cream too! How about it, Mr. Mizuno? Would you buy it for me?" In the end, Koichi finally gave up. "Wow, you'd rather have a snack for 20 yuan at a food stall in exchange for a bracelet worth 3,000 yuan? That's a bargain for me!" He left, feeling much better. After eating their fill of delicious food together, the atmosphere still seemed somewhat unsatisfying as the two headed back to the school.